Hi everybody, Chris here again. Finally up to number 7 on Let's Be Okay. Hope everybody else is doing okay. Um, Before we get started on today's topics, I want to talk about one thing. I plan on doing a Q&A video when I finally hit number 10. The way things are going, I'm going to try to have everything set up and have number 10 done at the end of February. No later than that. People that know me in real life, please hold me to that. So over the next 3 videos, I'm gonna talk about a couple things, but number 10, I'm gonna be answering questions that anybody has. If you know me in real life, feel free to ask me. I'll jot them down. If you're watching this on my Facebook timeline, go ahead and send me a question on that or comment in that, or even on YouTube if you have a question for me. Throw a question in the comments down below. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and get started now. We're gonna talk about feeling stuck. Stagnation is the technical term for it, and it's essentially just not feeling like you're making progress, or just feeling like you're just not going anywhere. And that's something that is actually quite near and dear to me. It's very difficult for me to feel like I'm going anywhere when I'm stuck in just a small room. The room that I'm doing my recordings in is my room. I do live at home. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with living at home when you're trying to save money and get yourself started. But at the same time, it does lead you to feel like you're stuck. Like not enough is going your way to help you make progress in anything. So essentially, you're gonna feel debilitated. You're gonna feel that it's not getting anywhere. Either that or the progress is so slow that it's gotten to the point where it's no longer noticeable. There are some people that will keep little progress bars, or they'll keep lists. And for me, that's kind of something I do. I collect things. I do my best to surround myself with what makes me happy. And I'll talk a little bit about something like that later on. But when it comes to those lists, or when it comes to those collections, I keep those lists and I keep track of what I have and what I wish for. And every time that anytime I make a little progress on any of those, I will mark that on my list. I'm sorry, I kind of bumped the wire for the camera there. But yeah, just don't let yourself give in to saying, you know what, nothing's going on right, so I just quit. Don't ever let yourself do that. Don't let yourself give in to the illusion that you're not making enough happen. Let yourself realize, okay, baby steps. Not everything has to be one giant leap after another. There are gonna be larger victories. There are gonna be things that help you feel better in the end. But it doesn't have to happen right away. Don't let yourself give in to a lack of instant gratification. Instant gratification is completely overrated anyway. It's tough. A lot of the times that I've melted down in recent years is because I myself have been trying to get my tech career started. I've been an IT guy for well over half my life now. I'm going to be 30 in a few months, and it's been my career choice, ever since I first started getting introduced to it in high school. One of my high school one of my high school teachers actually showed me something I could do. And I was good at it. I'm still good at it. You know, I'm not to toot my own horn, but sometimes horns are there to be tooted. So, yeah, I am an excellent IT guy. Granted, I can't solve every single problem, but on the other side, when there is a problem that can be solved, 9 times out of 10, I can solve it. So I'm very proud of what I am as an IT worker, and I want to get into a career for that. The biggest downside is, you know, there's the current job market. There's, you know, and hopefully with everything that's gone up, maybe one of the positives from a change in government right now is the fact that the job market should be improving. You know, fingers crossed. Why not? I refuse to get. I refuse to let politics into my videos, but that's the only thing I'm going to be saying on that. But let's hope that the economy improves and the job market improves. But I have a good job now. It's not going to help me live on my own, but it does allow me to help myself make progress on the things that matter to me. My collections, my car, you know, getting that repaired. I just had to get my car replaced last week, which depleted a lot of the money I had. Now, granted, for me, a lot of money is probably nowhere near as much to some people. But like I said, part-time only. But yeah, just let yourself make progress in little ways. If you're sick and tired of waiting for anything to happen, just, you know, if you look around where you live and you see, you know, that you need to make a big change, but you don't have the way to make that happen yet. Think of it like a snowball effect. Starts off really small, like rolling a pebble down a snowy hill. You throw the pebble down, and that's just a small thing. But eventually, you know, as it's rolling, it's going to build up. It's going to get covered in snow, and that snow is going to compact with other snow, and it's going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, like we all know from the cartoons of old, right? Please make sure that I'm not the only one here old enough to understand that. But, you know, the cartoons, I mean. But, yeah, just think of it like that. You know, you start making a little bit of progress, and then you're able to make something else happen, and something else. And even if it takes you a long time to finally reach the bottom of that hill with that big snowball, it's all about just throwing that pebble down there. Just the one little thing can help inspire you to start making great changes without having to do everything at once. It's like the old proverb, you know, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And sometimes you can only make 1 or 2 steps at a time. There's nothing wrong with that. Let it be like that. Okay? Eventually, the big leaps will happen. You just got to give them time. In the meantime, make the little ones. Make the little steps. Make the little changes. You'll find it's one of the best things you can do for yourself. That's what I do. You know? But anyway, let's go ahead and move on to our feel-good topic. Luckily, yay, you know, something not so somber for our not so horrible for our not so great topic, but for our feel good topic, I'm going to talk about something that I've been a fan of since I was 6 years old. All right, for almost 80% of my life. Kind of feel a little old now, but for for about 80% of my life, I have been a fan of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I'll give you a minute to stop laughing. Okay. Yes, I am one of those people that still has not let go of things from when he was a kid. My shirt speaks for me. Green Power Ranger. Okay? He is the man. The first Green Ranger is the man. Essentially, for those of you that may not have heard of the original Power Rangers or anything, or Power Rangers in general, it starts out with an interdimensional being stuck in a time warp named Zordon. And he and his robotic assistant, Alpha 5, recruit a group of teenagers, all friends at high school, to help save their world from an evil empress, Rita Repulsa. And in the show, it doesn't just go through the whole, it's a kid's show, it just goes through random nonsense. This, at the time it was released, at the time it was put out there, was a show about making a difference. Every episode in the earlier seasons had some kind of moral to it. In one of the very early episodes, there was it was called High Five. The Yellow Ranger, Trini, she was forced to confront her fear of heights. And the moral of the story was no fear was insurmountable. No fear couldn't stop you unless you let it stop you. And messages and morals like that always appealed to me. And for that, Power Rangers will always represent, teamwork, learning, growing, doing the right thing, and even change. When they went from season to season, something drastic would happen, and the Rangers would have to adapt to something different. So, it's just, for me, it just enthralled me. In August of 1993, I was sitting down, ready to go to first grade. And I see this show come on about 7 o'clock in the morning. It's just me and my brother and my mom sitting in the living room. I'm eating breakfast, watching this, show adapted from Japan. And I remember just completely falling in love with it right away. It was incredible. And yes, it's dated. It's cheesy. It's got so much corniness throughout the entire thing. But it's something that was, all in all, also endearing. It's like it was speaking to the kind of person that I at the time wanted to be. I wanted to be somebody that could do good for people. I still want to do that. And it was the show as a whole was one of the biggest inspirations to who I try to be today. So I can never speak highly enough about about the series when it first came out, or even today, where it's true, I don't think it's as good as it used to be, but I still appreciate it. I still acknowledge that it was one of the best things I ever got into. And one of my collections is based on the Zords. Zords are the machines that they pilot, and me being a huge technology guy, I love the robots from the show. And to this day, I still collect the deluxe transforming versions of these Zords, from the American and the Japanese version of the show. Now, I'm not as big into Super Sentai, even though it was what Power Rangers is in Japan. Power Rangers is an adaptation. They took Japanese footage and converted it into, or they took a Japanese kid show and converted it into an American kid show. They reshot the stuff with the actual actors and then voiced over the costume fights, and it was great. It looked really, really good. So if you ever get the chance, or if you have a little one that you want to get to know something that could, that could actually teach a good lesson, just, it's on Netflix. They have DVDs out. Feel free to show them, like, at least the first few seasons. Because there are things that are going to teach them something. But yeah, not as long as a video today. Not as long of a video today. We're going to go ahead and cut it off here, though. I hope everybody continues to do okay, and I hope talking about Power Rangers talking about what made me passionate about Power Rangers helps you to be a little bit more passionate about what you consider to be something great in your life. There's nothing wrong with exploring your passions. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to be talking about a couple more of them for the next video and the one after. So please feel free, if you know me in real life, ask me in real life. If you know me on Facebook, ask me on Facebook. If you're just watching this on YouTube and you want to know, just ask on YouTube down in the comments. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to check out other videos if you would like to. But yeah, just let's follow our passions and let's be okay. Have a good day, everybody. I hope to hear some questions soon.